let's talk about one of the most chaotic design aesthetics of the 2000s. Indie Sleaze design. This is one of my personal favorites, so I'm really excited to dive into it. I'm gonna share 4 defining characteristics which will help you design in the style yourself, and as a little special bonus, I'm going to challenge myself to create an Indie Sleaze design in under 2 minutes. So we'll see how that turns out. You'll be able to see my process and where I get inspiration and all the design assets I'll use. But first, let's get some quick context about the style. Where did it come from? Well, the Indie Sleaze graphic design style as we know it stemmed out of the broader Indie Sleaze aesthetic. This aesthetic blew up in the early to mid 2000s. It was all over blogs, MySpace, Tumblr pages, posters, and magazines for teens. It's messy, it's raw, it's definitely not polished, and that's the whole point. It came at a time when social media was just starting to explode, when people were discovering they could make blogs, zines, and posters for their events with almost no budget. The result was this completely DIY aesthetic that thrives on imperfection. The inspiration for it draws heavily from party culture, underground club culture, and a generation that documented everything with cheap digital cameras and flip phones, which, by the way, you know it, they're making a comeback. So let's break it down into our key characteristics. First, let's talk fonts. Indie Sleaze fonts are bold, in your face, and most often sans serif. Big blocky headers are everywhere with chunky all caps text. It's simple and kind of basic, but it's bold and loud. But what keeps it interesting is the pairing. You'll often see a clean sans serif headline mixed with the smaller complementary fonts that lean more experimental. Sometimes like a grungy typewriter look, or sometimes something distorted or funky that feels a little off. The main takeaway here is contrast. Nothing matches too neatly because that polished, curated vibe was never the goal. The typography is less about hierarchy and more about energy. But if you're designing in this style, you'll still want to have a clear primary header text. Next, let's talk about imagery. If you're thinking glossy, professional photography, forget it. Indie Sleaze is all about low-quality visuals, so think high flash, blurry shots, badly cropped images like disposable camera vibes. The whole idea is that it feels authentic, unfiltered, and real. You're capturing the vibes of sweaty dance floors, people caught mid-laugh, and awkward poses. It's the opposite of the posed, highly edited photos that fill our social media feed nowadays. Back in the days, things were different, okay? With this style, we actually want the details that you probably otherwise edit out. And contrast is a theme here again, both in imagery and in color. You see dark, shadowy photos or a washed out image, for example. The visuals should feel kind of jarring, and that's intentional. There should be movement, blurs, or, static. And then there's the DIY aesthetic, which is our next trait. Indie Sleaze design is the definition of thrown together, but in the best way possible. It's a mix and match of different textures and prints colliding on the same page. It's jagged edges, uneven spacing, text that doesn't quite line up, and visuals that feel like they were cut and pasted. This was the era of Photoshop collages and Microsoft Paint level editing. Designers weren't aiming for perfection, they were aiming for a vibe. And that's what makes this style so fun to design. And if you haven't been convinced yet to give it a try, maybe my tutorial or my challenge at the end will help. A really quick note, if you haven't hit the like or subscribe button yet, go for it now. We'll be creating so many more graphic design style dives and tutorials. You won't want to miss it. And your support helps our channel a lot so we can keep making more videos. Okay, so our last major element is my favorite. People. Indie Sleaze design is always people-oriented. It's about community, friends, the party, the scene. You notice that these designs almost always feature people, dancing, hanging out, or moving in some kind of way, or just like at home, just like hanging out. It's all about showing life and connection and energy. And I think that's why the style has found new popularity today, because we have reached a point where audiences are tired of highly curated content and highly curated feeds. We don't want to post and fake. We want real and authentic, which is what we're seeing more and more of on social media. And this style does exactly that by capturing that messy human grungy aesthetic. Okay, those are the 4 main traits. Now, to make this less theoretical, let's actually try it. I'm going to give myself 2 minutes to create an Indie Sleaze style design in Kittl, and I'm going to show you everything I'm going to use, from textures to photos and fonts. So you'll be able to see all the things you can use yourself, and all you need is an email to create a free account if you don't already have one, so you can even log in right now and follow along with me. So let's design together. Here we go. It's time! All right, I'm gonna start by generating a few Kittl flows using this image from the AI library I found, but that part doesn't count on the clock yet, okay? I want to get 2 more images of the same model for our design, and I'm using Nana Banana because it's great for consistency and keeps the look super true to the original. So for the first one, I'm thinking of a pose where she's sitting on the ground, you know, very casual. So I'll write a quick prompt, and I'm gonna enhance the prompt, and there you go, generate the image. That looks perfect already, honestly. It's exactly what I had in mind. Now for the second one, I want her reaching down to kind of like tie her boots, but still looking at the camera. And same process here, I'm gonna write a prompt, enhance it, and hit generate. Okay, cool. We've got our 3 images ready for the design. So now I'm gonna hit start on the clock, and our 2 minutes are going to start now. Okay, so I'll begin by setting up a really simple grid layout to place these images we got. Now I'm going for that 2013, 2014 American Apparel ad vibe. You know, the ones that were all over Tumblr and, you know, totally influenced the Indie Sleaze aesthetic. If you're on Tumblr at that time, you know what I'm talking about. It's like a super minimal style. So I think I can pull this off in 2 minutes. Maybe. We'll see. Let's see. For the text, I'm sticking with sans serif. We've got some great monotype Kittl fonts. So I'm gonna search for monotype, and oh, now it has grotesque. Perfect. I love this font. I'm obsessed with this. Is one of my all-time favorite sans serif. So I'm gonna use the black weight for the headline, and then I'm gonna go ahead and use a lighter weight for contrast, you know, while adding some music genres that fit the Indie Sleaze mood. Okay, yeah, maybe I was a little too ambitious with the 2-minute challenge, but I'm already halfway there, to be honest. You know, I just need to clip these images into their shapes and tweak a few details, add a few text, and we'll be done. So I'm gonna speed through this part real quick. And there we have our Indie Sleaze design. This style is really powerful right now, which is why you should be incorporating it into your projects or using it for, you know, social media if you want, because not only are the 2000s really trendy, but this type of imperfect design is so popular. It's definitely getting more engagement and positive reaction on socials. It's just the opposite of that minimalism and overly curated aesthetics, which I think we're all kind of, you know, over it a little bit. Indie Sleaze is the rebellion against that. It's messy and imperfect on purpose, and that's resonating with younger audiences and giving millennials the nostalgia they want. But the best part is you can recreate it today super quickly and easily like I just showed. I recommend the style specifically for flyers, social media posts, and even posters if you're working with POD. But even if you're just experimenting for fun or you're just like learning graphic design, it's a great way to embrace a looser, more expressive approach to design. I love it. I'd love to know what you think about Indie Sleaze and if you found this helpful. Drop your thoughts in the comments, and of course, if you want to try out some Indie Sleaze designs, you can find templates and all sorts of assets and photos in Kittl. Just check the link down below. And you'll see a code there as well for a discount of a pro plan if you want access to all of the content and tools in Kittl. Otherwise, you have access to a lot with just a free plan, so definitely take a look. And before you go, don't forget to like and subscribe if you want more deep dives into design styles. We've got a ton more planned you'll want to get updates for. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!